Hey everybody, this is Larry. This is day 5 of the Leetcode Daily Challenge of the new year 2025. Unless I'm wrong the year, then I'm just going nuts. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, join me on Discord. Let me know what you think about today's poem. Today we have 2381 shifting letters 2. Yeah. Alright, let's get started. I'm still trying to figure out where the optimal place to put my mic is. So, if it's too loud, too low, let me know in the comments, and I'll try to figure it out a little bit. So I'm still adjusting. But yeah, all right. Let's do shifting letters 2. Okay, you have a string of and shifts with start and direction for every I. Shift the characters that's to the index I. What does that mean? 0 to 1. Oh, 0. Wait. Shift the characters from 0 to. Oh, this is range. Okay, I see. So the start and end is kind of a weird thing about it. It should be like maybe left right is how I would think about it, or like if I were to write, that would be a little bit more clear. But start and end suggests, like it's not as much as a range, but I don't know. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Alright, shift the characters backwards being, okay. So yeah, okay. So the idea here is that so first of all, the thing we should do is that all these shifts does not need to be done every time, right? Meaning that we can aggregate them together. And given that we have a lot of shifts and a lot of end, that is probably what we want to do. If you want to do it live, such that, for example, if there's a variation of this problem where you're supposed to give an answer after every shift, then you want another thing, right? Maybe with I don't know, with a segment tree or something, some kind of data structure. But for this one, it is not necessary. And the idea here, you would think, is that okay, well, and you only need to shift one character, right? Yeah. So then the idea here is, and I'm just bringing up my drawing thing so I could kind of draw it out. The idea that I would think about is just to think about this in terms of segments, right? So basically you have, like a number line that goes from the index 0 to n-1. And then the idea here is that, okay, well, there are two type of shifts, right? That goes from, oh, how do I change the color? This is always a little bit funky. You have a segment that goes from some start and end, as they call it, but let's just call it on, right. And here maybe this could be a +1, right? And then the idea here is also maybe some other segments you have a -1 that goes backwards, right? And this is a prime thing for sweep line, right? There are a couple of ways to do it, and you could even think about it, or you'll maybe hear people say this is a different way, but which is fine. But I think the visualization is important when solving problems like this, or just a lot of problems in general, if you ask me, which is the sweep line, right? So you have a line, you sweep from left to right, and then it happens, right? So what happens? Well, when you sweep, you see either the left endpoints or the right endpoints, right? And in the left endpoints, if this segment is +1, we want it to be all the way through +1. So that means that on the left side, we do a +1, and maybe I will just in a confusing way. On the right side is -1, right? Because that means that it's the end of the +1s. And the same way for subtractions, then you, in this case, you have -1 here, and then +1 at the end to go back, right? And yeah, and that's pretty much it. And as you kind of sweep from left to right, and you have to do it like one character at a time, anyway, because you have to output the characters one at a time, which is why, you can kind of accumulate all these to calculate how many you have to shift. And that's pretty much the idea. The implementation is not that bad, but yeah, I think once you realize what you have to do. Okay, let me do. All right. Misclick like 4 times. Yeah. Okay, so then now you have something like n is saying, oh no, oops, right? And then for I in range of n, so this will be after we process, right? So now we have to pre-process the shift. So let's say left, right, and shifts, and direction, right? And maybe as same thing that we did the other day, where with direction is equal to 0, we just set direction is equal to -1 because it's more true. And then we have maybe you can just say a couple of ways. Sorry, my monitor is a little bit dirty, so I'm trying to wipe it off a little bit because it looks kind of distracting. Yeah, I need to clean it a little bit afterwards. I try to clean it, but I think there's some smudge left. Okay, in any case, yeah, a couple of ways you can do it. Yeah, you can maybe use a collections.counter, right? And you can also use an array. I don't know. It really just depends on the inputs and so forth. But maybe like deltas is equal to this, and then now on the delta of left we add it by direction, and then deltas of right we subtract it by direction, and that's it. Yeah, and these are going to be inclusive of the thing, so this should be good. And then now here we have current is equal to s of I, so that's the current character, right? And then maybe yeah, maybe we take this, we convert it to the ordinate so that we get the off shift from A. So it basically maps this from 0 to 25. And then now we can just add it by delta sub I, right? I guess actually in this case, that doesn't make sense to have counter. I was thinking of only of this. But in this case, I mean, you could, I guess, do an if statement, but this is always going to look up anyway. So then it doesn't really make sense. So here maybe it's equivalent to write it in this way because I don't even have to change anything. But yeah. Anyway, so then, yeah, we just add the delta and then and then the only thing is that we have to make sure that it's still within 0 to 25. So we want to mine it to by 26. And then that's it. We have to convert it back to a character, and then we append it to a string, and then we just yeah, convert it back to a string, and there we go, right? Oh no, deltas and delta. Did I misunderstood this? One is to shift it forward. Oh no, that should be right. 0 to 1 is 0, so -1. Huh? This is kind of odd. Actually, honestly, I am a little bit surprised at this as well, but maybe I'm off by one somewhere. Let's see. Right, there's 2, -2, right? So we have C. We have B. So B plus 2 is D. That should be right. Did I misunderstood this? This is -1, so 1 is -1, and then you do a +1 on negative, and then oh, I'm dumb. Sorry. So these are I rushed it a little bit because I was focused on doing the deltas that I messed up. It should not be delta plus I. It should be because basically when you sweep line, the events are at the endpoints, right? So it is. So you want to do it this way, the way that I'm doing it. In theory, actually, what you want to do is something like for I don't know, for j in range from left to right +1 to be inclusive, delta sub j we add it by direction, right? So that would be the way to do it. But of course, this is going to be too slow because you can imagine that the input would be like 0 to n-1, and then you do it n times, that's going to be n squared. So then the idea here is that we only care about the events on the left side of the thing, if you kind of remember the visualization, and the right side of the things. And the reason is because as we sweep line, then we could get the current delta, right? So then maybe the current delta is equal to 0 to begin with, and then the current delta would be plus equal to delta, and then current would be plus equal to current delta, and then current also mod 26. What a sloppiness. Sorry friends, I got confused a little bit. Okay, still wrong though. Did I mean I went by that a little bit fast, so it may be that's the case. So okay, so we have b, we have -1. So these two should cancel out, so you have a +1. So why is it a +2? Let's see. I don't know. Some days, I mean, you know, you can have the best explanations, but it doesn't matter. But yeah. Am I wrong off by 1? I think I'm wrong off by 1, because basically on here, okay, yeah, this should be right +1. The reason is because yeah, if we do, and you could kind of think about this, right? If this is on the right, then right is not inclusive because you already subtracted direction back, right? So it should be right +1 to get the direction and the right place, and as a result, you need something like this. I am just a noob today. Yeah. Anyway, so that looks good now. Did I print stuff still? Okay, let's remove this print. And yeah, let's give it a quick submit. It should have been much straightforward, but I don't know, like I said, a little bit sloppy today. A lot of wrong answers on the daily problems too. So what's the complexity here, right? Well, this is going to be O of n, this is O of q, where q is the number of queries, and this is, of course, O of n again. So this is n plus q, which is linear, right, in the size of the input. So we are very Gucci. So yeah, this is going to be linear time, linear space, because this is linear space, and I guess this is linear space. Or it's O of n space. We don't do that much with q, so in terms of space. So yeah, that's all I have for this one. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and yeah, you could watch me. Wait, what am I doing? I'm doing the wrong thing. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. Stay good, stay healthy, to good mental health. I'll see y'all later and take care. Bye bye.